Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports. For today's preview, it is the Yixgay Derby, Lions versus Bulls. A clash which has sort of ebbed and flowed over years, with the Lions having a very nice run a couple of years ago where they just continue to sort of seem to have the Bulls' number. However, since the Bulls rebuild, they very much have been a pretty dominant force against the Lions. And last week, both these sides come getting a loss, so they'll both want to try and bounce back. The Bulls very much have the luxury of rotating, and they can bring in quite a few different players. It's actually very much a new-look side. For the Lions, it's pretty similar apart from injuries because they just don't have the depth the other unions have. So it should be an interesting game because I think the Lions last week, there were signs out there that they can still compete at this level. You know, they're on the attack. You know, they can still put together some very exciting moments. The Bulls, however, there's just depth there. There's quality, there's international pedigree. There are game changers. There are game winners in that Bulls side. And quite a few ex-Lions players up against their former side. So it should be interesting to sort of see how that sort of adds a little bit to the clash. The game is at Ellis Park, so it does favour the Lions, who are very good at home. Weren't able to sort of quite impose their home advantage as much as they'd like to last weekend. But they could sort out a couple of their errors. I think that they are a side which can compete higher than a lot of people would have expected. The Bulls, the expectation is to beat everyone. That's what they've sort of become over the past few years. Before we look at the size, please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. This is how the Lions will line up. Now, the injury to Peter Janssen and Fury has seen Willem Alberts come into the pack. Now, that adds a lot of bulk, and you always need bulk when you are taking on the Bulls. So, Steve Satole, Jakob Asaki, Carly Sardi, as a Lions fan, I think that front row is very underrated. I think that they gave the Sharks quite a hard time last week. Carly Sardi is a fridge and a phenomenal scrummager. Jakob Asaki is pretty solid, and Steve Satole is very improved. And I think that together as a combination, I think Julian Reddinghuis is doing very good work there. In the second row, Ruben Skuman, Willem Alberts, that adds a lot of weight to the scrum. And I think that against the Bulls, as I said, you have to have weight. You have to have bulk because they are a big side. And then a loose trio of Jaco Kriel, Emmanuel Stuka, and Frankie Horn. I like Emmanuel Stuka. You know, I thought that Ruben Australia was all right last week. You know, it's difficult to replace Vincent Tuka, who's arguably been one of the best number 7s in the country for the last few years. But Emmanuel Stuka is a very good player. Frankie Horn's a very nice player. Jaco Kriel, who is the vice captain of the side, we started to see glimpses of his best last weekend. So hopefully he can start to replicate that form more consistently. And then the halfback combination, Andre Warner and Fred Zeilinger. I feel like Fred Zeilinger is growing into this side. Andre Warner has his moments. He can be frustrating at times, but he can also produce a try out of nowhere. He's kind of got that sort of knack of being able to score tries. As does Raz Makwana, who is a flyer. You don't want to give him too much space, and I think he'll prove to be quite a handful for the opposition wing, which is on Davey Kane and Moona to sort of to defend against. Birger Udendal, captain of the side, he'll have one to see the Similane outside him. You've got to get the ball to him. You have to get the ball to Similane if you want to see the best out of him. Edel van der Merwe, I thought, worked tirelessly last weekend. He chased hard, he ran hard, he tackled pretty well, and he's proven to be a very nice signing. And even for Ewan, there's just not much pace there. I think if you look at that Bulls backline, they've gone with a very pacey backline, especially in that back three, which could be to the detriment of the Lions in terms of Eva for Ewan not having the pace. You saw last week how it was very easy for the Sharks to get in behind them and leave him for dead. Off the bench, PJ Botha, Morgan Nadir, and Ruan Dre will have a big job to do because it's a quality front row coming off the bench for the Bulls. Then in the replacements, you've then got Ruan Australia, who's dropped to the bench. And on the other lock replacement, well, actually they've gone with 6-2 split because they've gone with Ruan Australia and Siwasiso Sangweni, which is interesting to have both of those players on the bench as well. And then Ruan Venter is sent to make his debut as well. A very, very exciting youngster. So interesting to sort of see that they've gone with, you know, I mean, it's almost sort of three flanks really. Ruan Venter can play lock, can play flank, but Emmanuel Stuka can also sort of double up as a flank, as a lock as well. But I think I like the 6-2 split because they've got Matt Moore, but they never use him. So it's good to see that they're not even bothering asking him to sit on the bench for the entire 80 minutes. And then you've got Morne van den Berg and Tiaan Swanepoel. Tiaan Swanepoel probably, if he can start getting back into form, will then take the place of Eva for Ewan in that sort of starting front row. Starting 15. And then if we're looking at the Bulls side, as I say, quite a lot of replacements, and it's a very strong front row. Sampiero Mantanzima, who has been in terrific form for the Bulls. Jan Grabala, who's knocking down the door for the Springboks. And then Jacques van Nooren. The former Lions loose head, now playing tight head because of the lack of depth at tight head. And I think that's a potential opportunity for the Lions to try and sort of dig themselves into that Bulls side. It's not going to be easy, but that could be a potential avenue. Then you've got Wellsterenkamp, Bruno Nokia, very, very solid players. Both players could be destined to play Springboks one day. I think that as a combination, they are very good. Bruno Nokia is tireless in his work rate. And while Steenkamp provides quite a nice physical presence. And then look at this loose trio. You've got Marcel Garcia, Arno Buerta, and Alric Lowe. Marcel Garcia back and captaining the side. Everything you want. Class, pedigree, size, work rate. It's a very, very capable loose trio. As is the halfback combination. Springbok capped Imbros Pierre, Morne Steyn. Imbros Pierre looking to try and get back to his best. And Morne Steyn just to cut above the rest in terms of the calmness and the class that he brings to any side he plays in. Madash Tamwe has shifted from 14 to 11 to make way for Kanan Moody, who was on debut for the Bulls. Kirkley Orange has now shifted to the full back, so I think him versus Eve Viljoen is going to unfortunately owning some of it over Kirkley Orange, so he's a very exciting player with ball in hand. And it's the former Lions centre combination of Harold Forster and Lionel Pooh who will be up against their old side. Off the bench, Bismarck du Plessis, Liesert Koboka are both phenomenal players, and I think that Liesert Koboka could very well find his way in the Springbok squad if he can continue playing like he has been. Bismarck du Plessis has got more experience than anybody out there. Robert Hunt, however, is a bit of a youngster with a little bit of inexperience. So, I think that's somewhere that should be interesting to see Morgan Nordia versus Robert Hunt, the two youngsters, how they'll go later on in the game. Then Janko Swanepoel, Muller Ace, nice big bulk to bring on off the bench. Zach Berger, Chris Smith, and David Creel are players who are playing very well actually for the Bulls. All quite young, also still finding their way at this level, but starting to bring that consistency, which is so important if you want to be a professional at this level. Let me know what your score predictions are down in the comments below. Please do smash like on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you very much for watching. My name is Steven, and I'll chat to you soon.